Okay, welcome back. As promised, we have a famed investor, veteran investor, Vijay Kedia with us now. He's managing director at Kedia Securities. Really needs no introduction. Vijay ji, thank you very much for coming in. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. मैंने सोचा था कि हमने जो एक इंटरव्यू किया था उसमें हमने शुरुआत करी थी आप यहाँ आए हैं किस लिए ऐसे शुरू करेंगे लेकिन थोड़ा आई थिंक बट आपने एक नया गाना आपने पुट आउट किया है उसका संभल संभल के रखना कदम.
हाँ, संभल संभल के यहाँ पे पाँव रखना तू और basically aimed at educating investors not to get drunk on this massive bull market that we have. थोड़ा सा tell us a little bit what was the motivation behind it and so the ultimately it relates with one of my quote which I had shared with Surbhi in my last interview,
right.
That when there is a party and everybody is dancing, you should also dance, but don't get drunk.
Okay.
So the thing is that this is going in extreme level. This is what I feel. I meet a lot of people, newcomers in the market, first timer, second timer, and nobody is listening anything. They just want to do satta. They just want to do future and option. So I thought this is a right time, to educate investors, to warn investors, but don't get into all this kind of trap and all. I'll tell you, I met one guy at Kochi airport day before yesterday. He came to me and said that he was working with TCS as a software engineer and he quit his job and he was doing some technical things in the lounge and all. He's telling me nowadays I'm a full-time trader.
Wow.
So I said, very good. So since when you are trading, say last 1.5 years, and how is your response? Well, that's not very good difference. Okay, more than your salary or less than your salary? They said it's okay, same. तो मैं बोला बेटा अभी तो ये तेजी में अगर तू सेम है और एक बार जब राउंड पूरा होएगा तो किधर होएगा तेरे को नहीं मालूम है. So yeah, this euphoria is actually is not going to end in a good way. This is what I feel. I may be wrong and I wish I go wrong.
but we can't every bull market is different, right? But what you see in the 94 one, you've seen the 2008 one, 2001. What does it sort of how big is this in that sense as you see it?
No, you see, I had once said that every mother of bull market is followed by a mother of bear market. Okay. Right. So greater the rise, greater the fall. So ultimately theme is same, pattern is same. Only you can say that ratio or maybe the kind of involvement in the market is humongous, right? 14 crore demat account and so much money is coming. Company is asking for 16 crore and actually they got 16,000 crore in an IPO. So this kind of euphoria. So every time, remember Prashant, वो बचपन में कहानी सुना था. A rat goes to a saint and they say there is afraid of cat and all. तो वो saint ने उसको sage ने उसको चूहा से बिल्ली बना दिया. Then he goes back and said I'm afraid of the dogs. तो उसने उसको dog बना दिया. Then again goes to the sage and say that I'm afraid of the lion. तो उसने उसको lion बना दिया. One day lion was hungry, he tried to attack the sage only. Sage tells him पुनः मुसुको भव. तू वापस जाकर चूहा बन जा भैया. तो ये bull और bear market का ये story यहाँ पर ऐसे ही रहने वाला है. इसमें डरने का बात नहीं है. What I'm trying to tell you is this is like a जीवन चक्र, life cycle.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You just have to see that how can you safeguard yourself from this thing.
I'd like to share one anecdote because I was sitting down with some of the big fund managers at the country's largest mutual fund house recently, SBI. So the one anecdote that they shared was that beyond the headline number, 17,000 crores SIP, 18,000 crores SIP, there's a lot of lump sum redemption that's also happening. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a sign of some maturity. थोड़ा लोग profit भी साथ में book करें. But where do you see the euphoria the biggest, or where do you feel कि यहाँ पे this is a red flag? In which part of the market or which sector of the market?
I'm not worried about this 17,000 crore. This 17,000 crore is coming in SIP, right?
Yeah.
So that is managed by a experienced manager.
Yes.
Okay, it's 70,000 crore is going to go up to 50,000 crore, maybe 1 lakh crore a month. A time will come, maybe 3-4 years from now. So this ultimately this will keep on rising. I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about the people who are coming to invest directly into this market.
Traders. Right.
The newcomer, the first timer was coming into this market without any knowledge. Just they want to gamble only. They don't want to understand what is happening where. They just want to gamble. कि अभी ले लो, कल बेच देगा, सुबह ले लो, रात को.
So basically, it's the new F&O trader, inexperienced F&O trader that you're worried about.
Yes.
Not particularly, a sector or a certain market cap. ऐसा नहीं है कि
उसमें भी है साथ में. ऐसा भी होता है उसमें. Because ultimately it will affect the
some sector or the other,
your ecosystem also. So there are froth in some sectors, but that is okay. What I'm more worried about is all these millions of people coming to the market to trade daily. When they will lose money, that will create the sentiment so gloomy in the market for maybe for 2 months, 3 months, for 6 months. I'm worried about that thing.
It's important to just have a hobby or maybe try trading with a limited risk ability, etc. as well, and do your full-time profession and do your full-time investing is what you're saying, which is not very different from what you do with music. Your music is hobby, your music is education, and you obviously cannot leave your investment because it gives you a lot of money as well and become a full-time musician, just the way people shouldn't become full-time traders. Let's talk about your business of investing itself then. Look at 3 companies. Sudarshan Chemicals. Everyone's talking about some improvement in the chemical cycle from here. So let's talk about that. Secondly, Precision Camshafts. It's the one stock in so many which is currently up 10% today. So in these 2 particular, what are your thoughts? You still continue to hold stake?
Yeah, I'm continue to hold. I hold for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, I don't know. As I always say that I don't have any time target, don't have any price target. I think maybe they will, with time, they will improve their. Sudarshan did not perform in last 4-5 years. Now that is the first company, maybe in chemical sector, to become 10 baggers between 2014 and 2018.
Yes.
And after that, 6 years after that, the company did not perform. So, sub cycle hai, maybe sooner or later their situation will improve. Now all their expansions are, it's over. So maybe now things will improve going forward.
Vijay, just to go back to the point about euphoria, are you ringing the alarm bell saying that there's something wrong is going on in that sense? The market is just too overvalued? Because euphoria can be in some sectors hota hi hai wo, right? So just to contextualize that, you're not saying the market is highly overvalued and it is completely gone bonkers. That's not what you're saying, or are you?
No, I think there is a euphoria in this market. This euphoria will not last forever. Ultimately, there is going to be a correction, big correction in this market. I don't know when this correction is going to come. Maybe tomorrow or maybe after 6 months. I don't know. But ultimately, we are in a bull market. I'm not saying that we are in a bear market.
Correct.
If you call a 10% or 15% reaction a bear market, then maybe a bear market is there. But I'm not worried about that. I am personally not worried about that. I have thought, in my mind, all my stocks will fall 15% or 20% maybe if index corrects 10%.
So just to contextualize, what you're saying is a fall will come and that is a 10-15% fall whenever that happens. That is what you're...
10 to 20% in different pockets because I'm invested in mid cap and small cap.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, got that. Now, for viewers who are watching and what are you telling them? Don't make mistakes at very high levels. That is the basic message.
I'm saying, yes, exactly. I'm saying if you don't understand, don't do this. Invest through mutual fund. Don't invest directly in the market. Don't trade. Don't go for FNO. So this is what I actually want to give message to this newcomers mainly.
There is a lot of people who say that what we're seeing with the retail investors coming in, 14 crore demats basically, right? That this is how what we've seen in the US as well. Big financialization happens, retail becomes a larger and larger part of the market, and it would be a mistake to underestimate the secular rise of that. कि ये यहाँ से भी काफी बढ़ेगा, right? I think we've spoken about $2 billion now SIP flows every month. So people are putting money through mutual funds as well, and that number is also growing, and they're coming through retail directly as well. So do you think? Don't you think this can, with intermittent falls, which we've not seen unfortunately for the last 2-3 years, so that has not happened, which we saw in previous bull markets, but it's a secular kind of a trend.
That's what I'm saying. We are in a bull market only. This bull market should last for next 10 years. I had earlier said 2 years back that nowadays bear markets are shorter and bull markets are longer. So we are in a super duper bull market, no doubt about it. But you ask any newcomer, are you ready to face 20% erosion in your portfolio or not? You should ask them this thing.
And also if that correction turns out to be a longer one, because as of now what's happening is so-called corrections, they last a week, 10 days, 15 days, that's it. And then you go back and make all-time highs. So a long 2-3 year long drawn out sort of a flat market is something that perhaps a lot of people haven't seen. So again, just coming back to that point on the different pockets where you're seeing exuberance or overvaluation or too much money chasing stocks. I remember earlier when you mentioned that PSU is something you're looking at very, very carefully now. But where all do you see the red sign flashing?
All these stocks only, PSU stocks, defense stocks. Somebody was telling me the company changed its name and put railway behind it. Yes. God, its stock price went up. ये क्या हो गया यार, पागलपन है क्या भाई?
But that happened during the software time as well, right?
Exactly.
It reminds you of the IT
So then,
boom, yeah.
then what happened in the
after that,
Yeah.
yes.
After that, what happened?
Yeah.
Correct.
You are right. That software.com में भी ऐसा ही हुआ.
Yes.
145 companies, I read somewhere that 145 companies changed their name and put .com into.
Yes.
Yeah.
और उसके बाद में वो जब खत्म हो गया, 67 companies changed their name from .com. उसके बाद में 42% बढ़ गया. So are we going to invest in such companies जिसको खुद को ही नहीं मालूम है कि उसके बाप का नाम क्या है? Tell me one thing. I am more worried about those kind of things. I am not worried about the good general market. माने of course जो अच्छा company है, I am not worried about them. लेकिन when things will go haywire, everything will be affected.
You know, speaking of that, if I could just ask you about the two new themes, and we've not started seeing big listings, but the sense is that we'll get listings in these space. One is this green energy, green transition, EV. And the second is AI. Now, AI is the new word, right? And do you see a risk where a lot of new companies will come saying that they're participating on these themes, and maybe that could end up leaving some investors
Of
burnt?
course, ये अभी ऑलरेडी आ गया भाई. अभी कुछ कंपनी ने, मैंने कोई बता रहा, अभी आते आते गाड़ी में आता, कोई AI किसने नाम चेंज कर दिया. तुम्हारा you can also change your name from Surbi to Surbi AI. Surbi AI. Yeah. So I am
That's idea, Surbi.
Surbi AI.
Let's talk about real things. Let's talk about things, you know, which we all can see. And ज़मीन आसमान की बात करते हैं. जैसे ज़मीन पे है अतुल ऑटो, आसमान में इंटरग्लोब एविएशन. What exactly is happening in these two as per your you know recent conversation, analysis, everything?
in Atul Auto.
Yeah. And ऊपर में इंटरग्लोब एविएशन.
ऊपर?
इंटरग्लोब एविएशन हवे में.
No, I don't know. You see, I'm not
Okay.
a spokesperson, of Atul Auto. I'm an investor and I'm also a director, so I have to choose my words carefully.
carefully.
I invested in this company just because they are doing they are into EV. They did not change their name after this EV euphoria happened. Okay, since the beginning they are into three-wheelers. So it's a progression. It's a transformation from IC engine to EV engine, and ultimately, I think so. As this EV things will progress, I think the first transformation in EV in vehicles will happen in three-wheeler. This is what I feel. Three-wheeler will the first to be, जो बड़ा जो होने वाला है revolution.
Bajaj is already kind of there.
Yeah,
doing it,
Bajaj,
so-
Piaggio, and all those five जो पुराने थे,
Yeah.
oldies all are there. There are some new companies which I don't know how long they are going to last, because it's not only just on the since you have money, you cannot create a huge network
Yes,
of dealership
yes.
which is required for EV and all. So I don't know how many will survive and how many will come to sell to me. So that time will tell.
You know, all the disclosed portfolio, which is as if वो हम दिखा रहे हैं टीवी पे, but इसमें तो वो 0.5% से ज़्यादा जो होल्डिंग है वो ही आएंगे. तो नया आप क्या कर रहे हैं? Anything new, because you continue to invest into the markets. What are you liking? And because opportunities भी हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि everything is
नहीं,
overvalued.
आजकल तो मैं नया के नाम पे खाली गाने लिखता हूँ भाई.
That should be telling you about the markets, I guess.
जैसे अभी
But why is that? Is that because you think valuations are too high, or is that because you are in a different mind space right now? Why is it that you're not searching for something
No,
new?
I'll tell you, Surbi, what I try to do in this market, as I had said this earlier also, like suppose a train is starting from A to Z, it is traveling from Churchgate to say from Virar, for example. So I'd like to board a train from Churchgate.
Yes.
Or maybe from Bombay Central.
Okay.
ठीक है, वो Z पे पहुंचने वाला जो ट्रेन है वो V पे या T पे या U पे पहुंचा है.
अंधेरी पे
I
चढ़ने
don't
का
want to
फायदा
board
नहीं है.
that.
You will
Yeah.
never get a proper seat.
हाँ.
अभी आप चर्चगेट स्टेशन पे खड़े हो, कौन सी ट्रेन्स दिख रही है आपको?
नहीं, अभी आप लोग ही दिख रहे हैं मेरे को. कोई नहीं भैया मेरे को.
He's not answering. He is investing. He continues to. But क्या मतलब anything new that you've bought, you like?
Nothing.
Any themes?
I did not buy any new shares here.
मतलब कौन सी
But
ट्रेन्स?
study. I mean, anything new that you're studying?
No,
कुछ interest
nothing.
में आ रहा हो?
I'm studying about songs only. कि अभी मैं
it's
नया
all
क्या
about
लिखूं.
music then.
Which train of yours has reached Virar, and we see a few.
No, actually
Remains
मेरा
that
जो
we
ट्रेन
see.
है ना, वो विरार वाला भी नहीं है, वो उसको कोई डेस्टिनेशन नहीं है. मैं जो that's why I have always said that I invest in I don't have any price target, nor do I have any time target.
Got it.
So all my trains are without any destination. Wanderer है.
So since आप कह रहे हैं that right now it's not so much about studying stocks and companies, but it's music that's captivating your mind.
Yeah.
What say? Should we push him to maybe give us one or two lines from the new
नहीं
one?
वो आप लोग सुनो यार, मेरे को क्या मुझसे सुनने का, इतना पैसा खर्चा किया भाई मैंने.
But they say right कि CD तो सब सुन सकते हैं, लाइव सुनने में जो अलग कॉन्सर्ट्स का मजा है.
चलिए आपको we'll have you over for the.
I just want to say there is a froth, there is a euphoria in SME. This is what I have written in the song also.
Yeah.
There is a euphoria. That does not mean that all SME stocks are are bad or junk. I'm not saying that. SME is a beautiful platform to get all these good companies listed in the market. There's 63 million SME in India. I read somewhere. So sooner or later, many of it will come in thousands. But one has to be careful while selecting that where should I invest. There is a euphoria in IPO. There is a euphoria in future and option.
Yeah.
You know, 400 times what जो cash का जो volume है
400 times F&O.
400 times F&O volume larger than the cash market volume.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about only those things.
I think आपका जो गाना है उसमें लास्ट में आप मुझे एंडिंग बड़ा पसंद आया. ये मत बोलना कि विजय
फिर मैं कहना विजय तूने टोका नहीं क्यों?
चलिए नहीं बिल्कुल बढ़िया बात है. टोकना चाहिए और थोड़ा वार्न करना चाहिए at high. So thank you very much
He's
for coming.
upskilling himself as well. You know, on the video we saw him dancing along with singing. That's a fresh one.
But he's
And one more, more thing I would like to tell you, Prashant. Whatever I write, whatever I sing, nobody is going to listen anything. A close relative of mine, okay, very close relative of mine. So I sent her the song in the morning. She had already heard the song. तो मेरे को बोलती है कि बहुत बढ़िया सॉन्ग है भाई साहब मजा आ गया. हमने ठीक है. फिर मेरे को बोलती है भाई साहब कुछ नया शेर बताओ क्या लिखें. आई एम टेलिंग यू तो मेरे घर की बात है सपोज. तो मैंने उनको मेरी लाइन लिख कर भेज दी. रोज रोज नया वो जो इसमें गाया मैंने. रोज रोज नया ही लेने का भाई क्या
And बार-बार थोड़ा when we hear it on repeat, then that's when investors will the message will sink in.
Absolutely. Vijay, thank you very much for dropping by.
Thank
Great to
you.
have you with us here as always. Appreciate it. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break here. We are down, I think, about 100 points or so, 22,100 on the index. Stay with us.